Well, the stakes are high for President Trump ahead of Thursday's meeting with his Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. This all unfolding after the New York Times reported that Rosenstein wanted to potentially record the president to capture the chaos in the White House and possibly invoke the 25th Amendment to have the president removed from office, a charge Rosenstein has denied. This is just the latest turn in the president's volatile relationship with the Justice Department, the FBI, Special Counsel Robert Mueller. With me now to discuss, Bill Gavin, former Assistant Director of the FBI in New York, who's currently a senior consultant for Integris Intelligence. Bill, thanks for joining.
Yeah, Charles, it's my pleasure.
Where do we go from here? Apparently the word is that Rosenstein thought he might be fired today. Maybe he got a dressing down, and now the clock is ticking to this fateful meeting on Thursday.
Well, Charles, I think it's a difficult set of circumstances. You know, that the Department of Justice still loaded with some Obamaites and Clintonites, and they're used to doing things in a certain way that way. Now they've got a president who says, no, we're not going to do it that way anymore. And they're obstructionists, just as Congress has been to many of the things that the president has had to start. First of all, the president has to get along with this Department of Justice. We all know that there is absolutely no relationship with his Attorney General. I think that's said and done. He has to have some sort of a relationship, though, with somebody in the department. And at this particular point in time, it's Rod Rosenstein. That's who he has. This whole dust up today, I don't know what precipitated that. I kind of think that maybe Rod tried to figure out who the rats were in his administration there at the department, and put out that little fact that he might be getting fired, might be going up there to resign, and that got out to the news immediately. Okay. So he might already know who's leaking information to the press before he ever got up to the White House. But it's going to be something. What was said by the New York Times, saying that he had that conversation that he was maybe going to invoke the 25th, and that what should he do? Put a wire on and listen and record the president. I think that might have been stimulated a little bit by McCabe making those kinds of statements, and then magnifying that in order to sell his book.
Right.
And
well,
McCabe
let me ask you this, Bill. Let me jump in for a minute, Bill, because it does feel like, from the outside observing this thing, that President Trump and Rosenstein didn't necessarily have a great relationship, in part because of all the shenanigans that went on at the FBI. But it feels like that they've grown on each other. I mean, in more recent weeks, we've heard President Trump say nicer things, more gratuitous things toward or about Rod Rosenstein. How practical would it be to fire him, particularly with the world watching, and the FBI in particular, but the entire intelligence community trying to heal itself, I think, in a court of public opinion and amongst the ranks?
I think, Charles, in this particular case, the president likes to puff himself up a little bit and say some things that maybe he hasn't got his total heart behind. But he can't fire. He can. Don't mean to say he can't, but I don't think he'll fire Rod Rosenstein at this particular point in time. It would be a bad optic, and it would be looked at as him trying to interfere in Bob Mueller's investigation. But I think you're absolutely right. The relationship he's had recently with Rod, going up to the White House frequently, and now even this afternoon he said, I'll meet with Rod on Thursday, and we'll discuss what happened.
Bill, I'm getting the rap signal. Let me ask you, because you still have friends at the FBI, a lot of them, of course. The esprit de corps, where are we right now there in the intelligence community overall?
The intelligence community in the Bureau, NSA, CIA, all the entire intelligence community is going to keep doing what they do best. Certainly, there has to be some reliance upon the Department of Justice, but they all the esprit de corps within these organizations, and I can speak only for the Bureau, but within the organization, the people are proud of what they do, and 99.9% of them will go to work every single day and do the job the American public has always suspected that we did and did do. And I think that will carry through the day. It's going to take a while to get over this rough patch that they're in right now, though.
Bill, thank you very much. Always appreciate it.